Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 12 of Migrate Your Money. I'm your host, Drew Feitz, certified financial planner and founder of Migration Wealth Management. And today I want to talk to you about one of the most overlooked ways for business owners to save money on taxes. So let's dive in. It seems like business owners are always looking for ways to save money on taxes. Running a business takes a lot of time and effort, and you want to make sure that you keep as much of your hard-earned money in your pocket as possible. Business development, growing revenue, increasing profit margins, identifying opportunities, these are all top priorities for business owners to be successful. Unfortunately, that means that an extremely important part of proper business management is often ignored: bookkeeping. Good bookkeeping, in my estimate, is the most overlooked way for business owners to save money on taxes. As a business owner, if you don't do good bookkeeping, you could be paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars more in tax than you should. Your business expenses directly reduce your taxable income. If you forget about some expenses because you haven't tracked well, then you end up paying more in taxes than you need to. So let's talk about this overlooked tax strategy of good bookkeeping. When it comes to tax savings, sexy topics like tax credits and deductions and strategic business structuring are what get all the hype. Bookkeeping, on the other hand, seems like a mundane chore. It's not fun. It doesn't have all the glitz and glamour of other tax saving strategies. And for those reasons, it's not shouted about on social media. However, ensuring that your books are in good order and that all expenses are being tracked properly can have a huge impact on your business. By keeping a detailed record of your business expenses, you're not just ensuring financial clarity and compliance, but you're also ensuring that you won't pay more in taxes than you should. So let's make the connection between good bookkeeping and tax savings. How does good bookkeeping help you save money on taxes? Let's break it down. While it's important to not let the tax tail wag the dog and let the pursuit of write-offs dictate your spending decisions in your business, as we spoke about last time in my last video titled The Truth About Tax Write-Offs, the truth is that every legitimate business expense, whether it's office supplies, travel, software, or anything else, helps to reduce your tax liability. The caveat lies in how well you track your expenses through bookkeeping. The more thorough your record keeping, the less likely that you are to forget about some crucial expenses that can chip away at your taxable income. As a very high level example, and I mean this very high level example, if you're in the 24% federal tax bracket plus 15.3% for self-employment taxes, every $1,000 in missed business expenses could cost you an extra $393 in taxes. Like I mentioned, this is a very high level example. It's important to note that the tax calculation is much more complex than this example suggests. There are various factors that can impact the final tax amount, from deductions, credits, all kinds of different things that we could talk about. This is just supposed to be a simplified scenario that's intended to help illustrate the potential consequences of not accurately tracking your business expenses. So let's dive a little bit more into this trap of forgetting business expenses and not tracking them well. This is not uncommon for business owners to overlook or just neglect entirely to accurately track their business expenses. Sometimes business expenses are accidentally paid for with a personal card. If that's not corrected and reflected correctly in the company's records, then those expenses will not count towards reducing your taxable income. Even worse, some business owners run all their business expenses through their personal bank accounts and their personal credit cards. That's just a recipe for disaster and potential issues in the future if you're ever audited. Not only is it important to properly track your business expenses, but it's also important to have proper documentation to substantiate those expenses were in fact ordinary and necessary for your business and that they weren't for personal use. Imagine a scenario where you forget to record certain expenses that were forgotten during your busy day running your business. End of the day, you're not thinking about what you spent money on and making sure that it's tracked properly. These, what may seem like trivial day-to-day emissions, they can snowball into paying more taxes than you should, as we saw in the example that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. What seems like a simple oversight can lead to an inflated tax bill that could have been significantly reduced just with as simple as good record keeping. It's easy to forget about things at the end of a long day. As a business owner, that's why you need a system in place to help make it as easy as possible on you to ensure that all of your expenses are tracked. Good bookkeeping has a ripple effect. Let's consider a scenario. A business owner fails to adequately track a series of deductible expenses throughout the year. As tax season approaches, it's time for the business owner to get organized and provide tax documents and business income and expenses to their tax preparer. Since this business owner didn't have good bookkeeping practices in place, business expenses slipped through the cracks, and of course, this resulted in higher taxable income than necessary. This, in turn, of course, leads to a larger tax liability. So the financial impact here ripples beyond just the immediate tax bill. It affects the overall financial health of the business, paying more in taxes than you need to. This is where the true value of good bookkeeping comes into play. Every detailed record today helps lay the foundation for strategic tax planning tomorrow. As you build a comprehensive record of your business expenses, you empower yourself with the knowledge to make informed decisions, identify trends, and, of course, help to optimize your tax saving potential. So this is all well and good, right? But what does good bookkeeping actually look like? This has just been a high-level overview of why bookkeeping is important to your business and how it can help you save money on taxes. There's so much more that goes into good bookkeeping, such as whether you will, or if you need to, in some cases of highly regulated industries, work off of single entry or double entry accounting, whether you'll use a cash or accrual basis accounting, if you have accounts receivable and accounts payable to manage, and if you have payroll to manage and coordinate. As we've already stated, good bookkeeping can be monotonous and boring, but it's so important. The easy button to good bookkeeping would be to hire a qualified bookkeeping professional who you trust to do the job well. But if you're not at that point where you feel that you can afford to hire someone, or you just prefer to perform bookkeeping yourself for your business, here are the 4 most basic steps to set up a good bookkeeping process for your business to help you ensure that you're tracking business expenses correctly and that you're saving money on taxes. Of course, you may need a more complicated system than this, depending on the type of business you own, your industry, the size of your business, your volume, and many, many other factors to take into consideration. Again, these are just very high-level points here. So point number 1, keep your personal and business expenses separate. We've already talked about this. Your business, even if you're a sole proprietor or you're just earning some money from a side hustle, it should have its own bank account and credit card if you want the credit card. Only business expenses should be run through your business bank account and or your business credit card. Point number 2, use accounting software. You can track expenses manually in an Excel spreadsheet, but that's going to make it even less likely that you're going to be diligent about recording your transactions. Using a software such as QuickBooks or Xero can help you automate your bookkeeping by linking your business bank account and your business credit card, acting as your central hub for invoicing, and helping you generate income and expense reports that you can review and see trends and help you plan going forward. Point number 3, keep track of your receipts and records. Just tracking your business expenses isn't adequate. You also need to track your receipts and records of business expenses to substantiate them in case you're audited. Many accounting softwares, such as QuickBooks and Xero, allow you to upload receipts into them. You could keep pictures in a folder on your computer, or you can go old school and keep paper records. But if you are ever audited and you don't have this documentation to substantiate those business expenses, then the IRS may deem that they weren't business expenses, they were personal, and now you have to go back and pay taxes and penalties on that. That's not what you want. Point number 4, review and reconcile your expenses regularly. Having accounting software in place that helps you automate your bookkeeping doesn't mean that you can set it on autopilot and forget it. You still need to review your expenses regularly and reconcile them with your bank account and your credit card statements. Transactions can be double counted or not pulled into the software at all. So this is why reconciliation is an important part of the process to make sure that your records are accurate. That's all I have for you today. As I mentioned at the beginning, my name is Drew Feitz. I run a fee-only wealth management firm called Migration Wealth Management, and I specialize in providing financial planning and investment management to people in their 30s and 40s. If you're interested in learning more, check out my website at migrationwealthmanagement.com. I try to make it really easy to learn more there. And if you're interested in scheduling a 1-hour intro and discovery meeting with me, then you can find a schedule a free meeting button at the top of every page of the website. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.